Welcome to the 5-Minute Biographies podcast, where every week we tell you interesting things about interesting people in about 5 minutes. And now here is your host, Wayne Armstrong.
Hi, I'm Wayne Armstrong. Welcome to the 5-Minute Biographies podcast, episode 13, Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren's clothing brands are marketed on the iconography of luxury and privilege, a completely different world from where the fashion designer started out in life. The youngest of 4 children born to Ashkenazi Jewish immigrants Frank and Friedel Lifshitz, Ralph Lifshitz was born in the Bronx, New York, on the 14th of October 1939. With patriarch Frank working as a house painter, the family was decidedly working class. The youngest Lifshitz child dreamed of fame and fortune by becoming a baseball player, actor or dancer. He spent most afternoons in movie theatres, dreaming of a better life. Lauren would later credit that desire for escapism as the driving force that led him to fashion. Actors such as Fred Astaire and Cary Grant are said to have provided inspiration for Lauren's signature style, alongside Cedric Gibbons' classic set designs for MGM Studios. At the age of 16, Ralph and brother Jerry anglicised their name. Tired of being constantly picked on and teased, the brothers rebranded themselves as Ralph and Jerry Lauren. Ralph Lauren would later state that his name change had nothing to do with trying to hide or escape his Jewish ancestry. He ultimately wanted a name he could market. Lauren graduated from DeWitt Clinton High School in 1957. He later told interviewers that under his picture in the yearbook, he stated that his ambition was to be a millionaire. After graduation, Lauren enrolled in Baruch College to study business. He dropped out 2 years later. From 1962 to 1964, Lauren served time in the US Army. When he was discharged, he took a job at Brooks Brothers. That job was short-lived as he left soon after to become a salesman for a tie company. On the 20th of December 1964, Lauren married Ricky Ann Lowe Beer in New York City. The couple had met 6 months earlier in an eye doctor's office where Ricky was working as a receptionist. Lauren made a point not to mention to his parents that his new bride was only half Jewish and that her mother was a Gentile. The couple have remained together ever since, and they have 3 children. In 1966, at age 26, Lauren was inspired by Douglas Fairbanks Jr. to design a European-style necktie. The idea was rejected by his employers, who didn't think such a wide necktie would be commercially viable in America. Disagreeing, Lauren left to start his own company. Lauren busied himself making men's ties out of rags. He managed to sell his ties at a number of small shops around New York, but he was still working out of a drawer in the Empire State Building. His break finally came when he was approached by Neiman Marcus, who wanted to buy 100 dozen of Lauren's ties. In 1967, buoyed by financial backing from Norman Hilton, the Manhattan-based clothing manufacturer, Lauren opened a necktie store, selling his own designs under the brand name Polo. In short order, he would go on to expand his designs into a full menswear line. The 1970s would prove to be a crucial decade for the growth of Lauren's business. In 1970, he received the Coty Award for his menswear line. Around the same time, he released a line of women's suits, tailored in a classic men's style. It was here that the polo emblem was first seen. In 1971, he expanded his line and opened a polo boutique in Beverly Hills, California. In 1972, he released a short-sleeve cotton shirt in 24 colours. This design, emblazoned with the polo logo, became the brand's signature look. Lauren also gained recognition after he was contracted to provide clothing styles for the 1974 film adaptation of The Great Gatsby and the 1977 film Annie Hall. In 1984, Polo Ralph Lauren opened its flagship store in the former Rhinelander mansion, home of photographer Edgar d'Avia and Robert Denning, which had been transformed by Lauren especially for the purpose. Polo expanded at a rapid clip through the 1980s and 1990s, opening stores across the United States and internationally. The company went public on the 11th of June 1997, trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol RL. In the intervening decade since the launch of the Polo brand, Lauren has broadened his product line to include a set of luxury clothing called Ralph Lauren Purple, a home furnishings collection, and a collection of fragrances. There are men's, women's and children's lines marketed under the Polo brand, and the brand has also provided uniforms for the Olympic Team USA. The wild success of Polo has earned Lauren a personal fortune estimated at somewhere in the vicinity of $6.5 billion. If accurate, that figure would serve to make Ralph Lauren the 122nd richest person in the world, and more than fulfill the ambition he had as a teenager of becoming a mere millionaire. I hope you enjoyed that episode of 5 Minute Biographies. If you'd like to see a transcript of the show, head on over to the 5 Minute Biographies website at www.5minutebiographies.com/episode 13. If you'd like to make a suggestion for a future biography, then please use the Suggest a Biography form on the site. If you get a spare few minutes, it'd be really great if you'd leave me an honest review on iTunes, and if you don't want to miss any future episodes, why not subscribe while you're there? You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/5minutebiographies and Twitter at twitter.com/5minutebios. We also have a YouTube channel where we'll present a selection of the podcasts in video format with lots of images to go with the words. You can find it simply by going to www.5minutebiographies.com/YouTube. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the 5 Minute Biographies podcast at www.5minutebiographies.com.